been selling on Amazon for some time now, or you just started selling on Amazon and you're in that 10K a month jail or under 10K and you're looking to break out of it, you're looking to scale your business, or you're trying to find the best way to start and scale your Amazon business, I'm gonna be dropping so much value in this video, so make sure you guys stay tuned for the full video. I'm gonna be going in depth on how to start and scale an Amazon business from 0 to 50K. If you guys already don't know who I am, my name is Faraz Shunais. I scaled my Amazon business to multi six figures reselling name brand items on Amazon. In the past year, I've generated over multi six figures in profit, and I also helped hundreds of people how to start and scale their Amazon business. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this video. Okay guys, so this is my complete Amazon FBA beginner blueprint. This is going to be giving you guys everything that you need to go from beginner to a six-figure seller on Amazon. First thing we're going to talk about is our core principles over here, right? This is very important right now. We're going to do what matters now and not what matters when you're selling 10, 20, 30K months, right? The reason why most beginners fail is because they try to do things that only matter later, right? Don't worry about getting a virtual assistant. Don't worry about ungrading a big brand when you haven't even gotten your first sale. Do not get shiny object syndrome. Do not try to do what somebody who's been doing Amazon, brand direct, wholesale. Do not try to do what someone that has been 2, 3, 4 years of experience. Don't try to do what he's doing because you're not going to find success because he's went through so much, right? Make sure you're patient with the process and you're taking steps every single day that actually matter. Stop worrying about the brand name. Stop worrying about the logo. Stop worrying about the storefronts. There's no specific brand names. There's no specific storefronts, right? Stop worrying about ungating these brands that aren't open, like Nike and these other brands, right? The application is closed. We can't do anything about it. There's tons of profitable stuff out there, right? Stop worrying about hiring a virtual assistant. You're not there yet. How are you going to hire a virtual assistant if you don't know how to source? Don't worry about building a team. You don't have a business yet. So you see what I'm talking about? A lot of these people, the reason they end up failing is because they get shiny object syndrome and just worry about stuff that doesn't really matter. Now I put what you actually should start focusing on. Learning Keepa like your life depends on it, right? Keepa is the most important thing. If you learn Keepa, you'll never make a bad buy, right? Using SellerAmp, learning how to reverse source, investing into your skill set, right? Another thing, getting your first sale, FBM or FBA, sending in your first profitable product, you either do FBA. I tell my students to do FBM just so they can get proof of concept, right? Let's just say a good example, right? I remember when I was first starting, this was really great for my journey, my proof of concept and everything. This doesn't happen to everybody, but remember I was at Costco one time, there was these like Febreze or something like that. There was this product, they were on clearance, right? I was like, buy one, get one 50% off. So it was a great margin. I remember I didn't know anything. I didn't know if it was going to sell. I didn't know how to read a Keepa chart, anything like that. So just listed it on my storefront. You know, I put 10 in my cart. While I was checking out, I sold all 5. So that's just the power of winning the buy box, the power of just getting on listings that actually sell. Another thing I want to add, make more mistakes, right? Fastest way to grow and the fastest way to be successful is just make more mistakes, because the more mistakes, the more you're learning. If you're not constantly failing, right, you're never going to be successful. You'll never be right unless you fail, right? You have to start testing products out. Nobody just started their Amazon business. Nobody just started something and they're right the first time. It's just impossible to do that. And for you to think that you're just going to go in here and just go on this business model and not make mistakes is very ignorant, right? So just embrace the mistakes, right? Embrace the journey. Just focus on getting 1% better every single day. It's just going to make the process more enjoyable, right? The next thing I want to talk about is our product sourcing flow, right? Our decision tree, right? These are the questions that before you buy a product, when you're looking at listing, these are the questions that you need to be asking yourself. Is Amazon on the listing? Most of the times, you're not going to be able to compete with Amazon because you're not going to be able to get the same price as Amazon. Sometimes there has been listings that I've beat Amazon on, or I've shared sales on Amazon with, but I had a really good buy cost. The thing is, you as a small seller, Amazon is getting these products in bulk. They're getting these products for dirt cheap. They're Amazon. You're not going to be able to compete with them. You're not going to get the same price as them. So you're not going to be as profitable as them. So you're not going to be able to list it at the price that Amazon is able to list it at. So just because you see 1 or 2, 3 people on Instagram say, oh, I've won the buy box, I've won on Amazon, right? Look at the Keepa chart. Look at how much percentage of the buy box Amazon is actually winning, right? Don't look at people on Instagram. The second one is no buy box. You have to see if the buy box is actually there. Okay, guys, so this is what the buy box looks like. This is going to determine if you get sales or not. Sometimes if the price is too high, Amazon sells out and a bunch of sellers, third-party sellers, get on this listing and they're like, okay, Amazon deems that the price is just too high and it's not competitive, because at the end of the day, the buy box is an algorithm and Amazon wants the best experience for their customers. So if the buy box is too high, they're going to take it away. which as a seller, imagine yourself selling on Amazon, right? You see this buy box over here. You're just going to click buy now and it could be sent to your home in 2 days. Very convenient. That's why the buy box on Amazon is so successful, right? Now let me show you guys an example of what a suppressed buy box actually looks like. This is what a suppressed buy box looks like. You could still get sales, but it's not going to be as convenient for sellers to get on your listing and buy it. They're going to have to click through see all buying options and they have to pick between which sellers to buy. And if there's only 20, 30, 40 people on the listing, it's going to be very rare that your product actually sells. And if it does sell, you're going to have the lowest price, which means you're probably not going to be profitable. You want to avoid getting on listings that Amazon has suppressed so you don't lose money selling on Amazon. The second one is not profitable. This is self-explanatory. My minimum criteria is $3 profit, 30% ROI. But I don't want to give you guys the wrong impression. Something like this, right? A lot of you guys, my minimum criteria is $3 profit, 30% ROI. But if the ROI is over 50% and it kind of makes sense, and we're only 3 cents off from our criteria, this is something I would still buy. Under 1%, it looks like it sells a lot. It looks like we get ungated for it. So this is a good product, right? Just because it's not a strict criteria, this is something that we're just looking for when we're starting out. It's good for beginners, $3 profit, 30% ROI, but you can be kind of flexible with it. The next and most important step is is the buy box stable? Is the offer count going up or is it going down? Is the buy box rotating? Are people altering? I already told you guys what the buy box was. Now is the algorithm of the buy box, is it alternating between sellers? That's super important. Is the sales rank steady, right? Is there a sales badge, right? That's questions that you guys are going to need to answer. So over here, we have an example of a keeper chart. This is our price history over here, right? It's going up, but it's not going up too crazy, right? Amazon's on the buy box, right? But we can see that other people are actually winning the buy box too. So this is very solid. There's no sales badge. Offer count is a little bit mid. Offer count's going down a bit. That means people are kind of selling out, right? It's nothing too crazy. When the offer count's going down naturally like this, kind of like a slide down, that means it's natural, right? That means people are selling out. People are getting sales. Buy box is stable. Nobody's taking it. Now let me show you guys. This is overall a solid keeper chart. I would like some more sales, but this is overall a solid keeper chart. Now let me show you guys kind of a bad keeper chart. Okay, guys, this is an example of a listing that you want to avoid, right? Offer counts going up and price is going down, right? So as you can see, the price is consistent. When the competition starts getting on the listing, right? Buy box price is going down, right? It's always congruent, right? And then there's no sales badge. As you can see, offer count going up, more people are getting on the listing, which causes the price to go down. This is a listing that I would probably avoid. And learning how to read Keepa is going to be one of the highest leverage things you could do, because if you didn't look at this Keepa chart, you would just think, okay, this listing is profitable, let me get on. But by the time your item checks into FBA warehouse, it's going to be tanked and you're not going to be profitable. And as you can see over here, right, they tank it so bad to the point where the buy box actually gets taken away, right? These guys are idiots. Don't be like these guys. None of these guys are profitable. Now the question is, what are some tools that I need? You guys will see so many softwares with Amazon FBA, right? What are some tools that I need to learn online arbitrage in 2025, right? Obviously, you need Keepa. We just talked about how important Keepa was, right? It's a price tracker. It's very important. We have SellerAmp reverse sourcing. Let's talk about SellerAmp reverse sourcing. The thing I love about Amazon, or the thing, it's a bit iffy on my end, but it's good for reverse sourcing the competition. But Amazon makes every storefront public, right? So everybody has a public storefront, right? So that's why you won't see me, kind of leaking my products, because you'll be able to find my storefront. The thing I love about reverse sourcing is that the product's already there, right? We know that this guy's storefronts, we know that he's selling it for the high. All we have to do is find it at his buy cost. A good example is over here. As you can see over here, we're at somebody's storefront over here, right? And we have all these products over here, right? What we can do is we could go into SellerAmp over here. We can reverse source the seller. So we could go click into Winter Sage. We could go into his storefront. So all I have to do is click SellerAmp, and I could look up his storefront on my page, and everything he sells will come up, right? So you have all this, and you can look at the Keepa charts. You can look at the max cost, so you can see, okay, I need to make this profitable, I need to get this for under $9.72. And then all I would do, I'd just click Google, and I would see anywhere that sells it. So I go to the actual website. Okay, they're selling it for $31. They have it at Walmart here for, let's see how much. And I just keep doing this, and I try to build my margin with this, right? So if I wouldn't be able to find a profitable enough price, I just go to the next one, right? So over here, BSR doesn't meet our criteria, so I just move on. FBM has the buy box though, but it does not sell. So over here, we have Apple's Bible edition. We go over here, max cost 16. We just go over here, and as you can see, we can't find a price, and we just keep going. We would go through this guy's whole storefront and see if we could find something at a profitable enough price. And the thing I love about SellerAmp is you could rip through somebody's storefront and you could find cues to make your sourcing more efficient. Like over here, estimated sales 6 a month, skip. Estimated sales 6 a month, skip. Estimated sales 289, right? Skip. And you can use cues to see if a product is worth your time or not. So as you can see over here, FBA, this guy has 46,000 reviews, right? He's probably a wholesale and distributor, right? There's only 3 people on this listing. This is a red flag over here. This is probably a brand direct. Max cost is 289. We probably can get we probably can get the same price as this guy. So I just skip and go to the next one. This has more potential, right? 21, so that's enough space over here. But the thing is, the actual brand is on the listing. So you can see Piecework Puzzles is a seller on this listing, and this is a Piecework Rise or Shine product. So using SellerAmp, we could see little cues that'll save us so much time. And the better you guys get at looking at these cues, the faster you'll be able to source, the faster you'll be able to find more profitable products to resell for the high on Amazon. So now that I showed you guys how to reverse source and analyze other sellers, and you see how you could peek their storefronts and get their products and look at their products that they're selling and try to find them at a profitable enough price to resell for the high on Amazon. The next thing is how do we get the same price as them, right? How do we build our margin? That is a good question to ask, because the whole name of the game is building your margin, right? Manufacturing your margin. How do we get a product that's not profitable and make it profitable? This is a skill that you guys are going to have to learn. And a great way to use it is leveraging discounted gift cards, right? And my favorite website, right, that these people, all these Amazon sellers, you'll see Gatekeep over here, is cardbear.com. We're going to cardbear.com, and as you can see, let's just say I found a Walmart or a JCPenney lead, I can get 10% off on my margin over here, right? So we have Target, Amazon, Home Depot, literally everything that you need, every discounted gift card that you need, they have, right? 30% off Adidas. Literally everything. Let's Target 9%, Walmart 10%. It'll have all the different sellers and it'll see which one of them are in stock. You have 10% over here, $50 value, 10% discount. So these are great, right? You could buy multiple of these. Now that we learned how to use Keepa, we know how to reverse source. We understand how important, leveraging discounted gift cards on and building your margin. Next thing we do is strategy, right? What do we do as a beginner right now? What should I do after this video for us? This is where you do reverse sourcing every single day, right? Open competitor storefronts, low seller reviews, right? Scan product lists visually. Use the methods that I told you to, okay, this is a wholesale order. Okay, this is a listing that I could get on. Okay, use context clues, use Keepa to qualify them. Number 5, test buy fast movers with good margins. You're probably asking, when should I know what to test buy? We already went through that, right? That's over here. You have to ask yourself this question. Is Amazon on the listing? Skip. No buy box. We explain the buy box. We understand why it's suppressed. Skip unless the velocity is insane. Only time you should not skip is when it sells like 3, 2, 3, 4K times a month, right? If it's not profitable, skip it. We're not running a nonprofit. If it's a variation listing, check variation listings, obviously. Check to see if the Keepa checks out. Check to see if the buy box is stable. Check to see if the offer count is falling, if the buy box is rotating. Sales rank is steady. Check that out too, right? And then if that all passes, that is when you test buy 10 to 15 units. That's when you test buy 10, 15, 20 units, however many units you want. Then we're gonna go over here and then phase 2. After you got in a couple sales, right? You place your first online arbitrage order, you're getting sales and you're doing that consistently and you're getting 5K revenue, you're getting at least 5K revenues. Now you understand how to source. You understand how to build your margin. Now it's time to delegate, right? You're making some money. Now it's time to turn this thing into an actual business, right? Now this is where you hire a virtual assistant from the Philippines through online jobs. You post a job and you're telling them, okay, this is where you start automating stuff, right? Now you're getting a VA that's sourcing 8 hours for you every single day. They're sending you products in the morning, and all you're doing a second version of vetting them. All you're doing is you're vetting them, making sure the products they're sending you is legit. You're training them, you're giving them good SOPs, right? I'll give you guys an example of an SOP that I'm currently using right now. Now you're getting into the big boy games. Now you're building a business. Now you're out leveraging, hiring a virtual assistant. You're using prep centers. You're expanding into new categories. Automating part of your business. What is the best way to automate part of your business? Get a virtual assistant. Getting a virtual assistant is one of the highest leverage things that you could be doing for yourself, right? A good example of that. And Good example, where do I get a virtual assistant? The best place to get talent online is definitely online arbitrage, right? Filipinos are the best, right? They're super loyal, they're great people. They're great, right? Online arbitrage, make sure you have great SOPs for them over here. I'm gonna show you guys something that no one in this Amazon space will show you, SOPs for how to train your VA, because your virtual assistant is only gonna be as good as how you train him. So over here, we have our spreadsheet over here. This is a spreadsheet that he fills out every single day. So he's saying the products over here, ASIN, the Amazon link, profit, ROI, how much we're getting it for, how much we're selling it for, what's the profit, what's the ROI, everything. Where are we actually getting the product from? You see how in-depth this is? And then over here, he's sending me links, right? And I'm telling him almost criteria, low sales. And over here on the left-hand side, this is where I go in manually and I'm critiquing him based on a rating system. And I'm training him over a rating system over here, and this is the first thing I'm showing him, right? Minimum profit is $3. Minimum ROI is 30%. Check keeper charge for IP, literally everything. Avoid clothing and shoes just for us because we don't like high return stuff, right? So we just avoid it. No hazmat, dangerous goods, no generic branding, right? Obviously this will change, but this is good baseline to give to your VA, right? This is our criteria, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So we're really going in depth to make sure that our virtual assistant knows what if you're gonna go through the troubles of paying somebody, you might as well make sure that at least he's good at the job, right? And this is our demand, this is our supply. Literally everything that you need to know is gonna be on here. This is how I train my virtual assistant. Now, we know how to get a virtual assistant. Now, using prep centers, right? Prep centers, there's tons of prep centers out there. That is when you want to stop boxing up orders and you want to do higher leverage tasks, right? Prep centers are super important. It's helped me buy my time back and it's helped me do higher leverage stuff in my business. Obviously, expanding into new categories. You never want to be a one-trick pony. That's the worst thing you want to do. I see a lot of people, they'll put in tens of thousands of dollars on 2 to 3 ASINs, and then when those ASINs get taken away, their whole business is gone. When you're starting out, you never want to go deep on items. You want to go wide. You want to test stuff out and you want to get proof of concept. You want to automate part of business, but only do this after you get proof of concept, after you get thousands of dollars, after you make a couple of $1,000s with Amazon FBA. This is the next level, right? This is where most people get stuck in because it's uncomfortable. But you guys have to understand that every single step that you take in your business is gonna be uncomfortable. And this is the right step to make. This is one of my mentees, Ahmed. He's literally 17 years old. He's a senior in high school and he just hit his first 7.5K a month. In this month of April, he's gonna hit a 10K a month. But as you can see, he went from 2.5K in February. As you can see, 182%. He went from 2.5K in February to 7.5K in March. And the only thing he did, he just did more, right? He did more of this process over here, right? He just test bought units and he went all in, right? And now we're moving him over to here, right? April, we're getting him a virtual assistant. Soon as he turns 18, we're gonna get him leveraging credit, but he got proof of concept. He did a mix of RA and OA, and now he hit a 7.5K a month. He's gonna hit his first 10K a month just in April, just by doing phase 1. Now imagine phase 2 after he builds systems, after he delegates using the SOPs we give him. Another example, a great example is Kara over here, right? She's hit 4K this month, right? She's gonna hit a 10K a month next month. But the thing about this is she's working full time. She's sending stuff in FBA. What I really loved about her strategy is she already bought a repricer. She doesn't spend any time repricing, and everything she sends is FBA. She doesn't do any FBM. So all she's doing RA 1 to 2 times a week, spending a couple of hours. She's sending them in boxes, and she's just getting sales consistently. And as you can see, this big spike over here, she sold out in all her inventory. We recommend a repricer because she went wide, right? And we don't want to be wasting time repricing on units that have 1, 2, 3 units in stock. That's where we got a software, we got a repricer, and that's how you see she sold out in 1 day. It was like March 12th. She sold it out. This is just another example. She started literally 2 months ago. She's absolutely crushing it. Another example of somebody crushing it in phase 1 is Siraj over here. He hasn't been doing any more retail arbitrage. He's been transitioning into OA. He's been doing online arbitrage. He learned how to use Keepa. He understands everything, so he doesn't make any bad buys anymore. He understands before he goes deep on something, he knows he needs to test buy. He just hit his first 10K a month. Now he's on phase 2. We already got him his virtual assistant, right? He does his own prep, or his family does his prep, right? He's placing orders with wholesale distributors now. Before you can do anything in phase 2, you have to be able to be successful in phase 1, right? The dumbest thing that I see people do is they can't even be successful. They can't even hit a 10K a month online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, but they try to do wholesale. They try to do private label, right? That's like trying to run before you learn how to walk, right? It's another game, right? So get proof of concept first, get in the game for 6 months to a year, right? Learn it, right? Learn it, then you can make that transition. Hopefully you guys learned a lot from this video. Drop so much sauce. If you guys genuinely benefited from this video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to work with me to scale your business one-on-one, I'm going to be dropping a link to book a call with me one-on-one. If you guys want to join our free Discord community, I'm also going to drop that down in the bio below. I'll see you guys in the next video.